What the hell is that? Hello and welcome to another issue of the Headless Hammerhead Guide to Comics and More. Today we're doing a special issue where we're going to be reviewing a new graphic novel that has been released this week. So we're not going to waste any time, we're going to get to it. If you're into dark stories based on true events, there's a YouTube channel called MrBallen. It is extremely popular, has over 1 million viewers, I believe. And the star is an ex-Navy SEAL who calls himself MrBallen, and his specialty is telling stories of the strange, dark, and mysterious. The channel has become so popular that they've expanded into other media under the umbrella of Ballen Studios. So they have podcasts, of course, the videos for YouTube, publishing. They do tours for live storytelling, merchandise, audio and digital productions. And just released this week, the first week of October 2024, they have released a graphic novel, and it's titled Strange, Dark, and Mysterious, which is what he claims to specialize as far as his stories that he tells on his YouTube channel. I am a fan. I do watch a lot of his videos. I listen to some of his podcasts, and it's very entertaining. He is a very good storyteller. So we have ordered the book just to see how it translates into a graphic novel format, and I have read the entire thing, and here we're going to do a review of that. Now, fellow artist Andrea Muti is a fellow Italian, fellow Floridian, and fellow artist, and he is very well known for many popular comic books, including Vlad Dracul. This one is called Bunny Mask, and then you have Maniac of New York, which was extremely popular as well. His style is very unique. It's a watercolor style, and he specializes in horror as well. He has worked for Marvel and DC, and I love his work. When you see it, you know it. It stands out. It's very muted as far as the colors. Even the artwork itself is low in detail, but it's done in such a nice way that it's perfect for this genre. So I can see why MrBallen selected Andrea Muti as the artist for his graphic novels Strange, Dark, and Mysterious. So before this even came out, they released a teaser, which is a complete story. It's about 15 pages, and he called it A Forest So Evil. It's based on one of his podcasts. And The Forest So Evil gives you a taste of what you're going to find in the graphic novel. It's by the same artist, Andrea Muti, and you can see that the narrator pictures of MrBallen, they're done more in a cartoon style, but the art itself is very horror inspired. You can see the watercolor style, dark watercolor style, that gives it an atmosphere of eeriness. Even the bright colorful parts are very muted. As you can see, there's not a lot of detail, but you don't miss the detail because it's so well done. And this story is a digital only release, so it's unforgiving because you can zoom in as far as you want, and it still really works really well for this kind of storytelling. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but if you're liking this video, please hit that like button, the thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot, and also make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you. The actual book measures about 7 by 9, and it has a soft touch cover with spot gloss. It's very nice. It feels very good. It's nice and heavy. The cover is very thick, and so are the interior pages. The paper stock is a very heavy stock. The introduction is very nice. He talks about his mom and about how he got into the storytelling, about his time as a soldier. And the book itself has 9 stories total. Inside you also have a map, which is really neat because these are based on true events. It shows you with a number, of course, that corresponds to each story, where this story takes place in the world. It's pretty cool. So as you can see, the art continues just like in A Forest So Evil story. Same style. Again, Andrea Muti is the artist, and you have this atmospheric, eerie feeling. The monsters are never really clearly drawn, as you can see here on the upper panel, but it works so well. And when there needs to be detail, like with the guns on the soldiers here and their uniforms, then there is detail. It's just not always necessary. So sometimes art calls for details, sometimes the art just needs to breathe a little bit, to let the viewer interpret a little bit more on their own. And the time settings range anywhere from the 1700s through to contemporary stories. There are actually 2 contemporary stories that he heard directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak. He basically spoke with the people who experienced these stories firsthand and got the accounts directly from them to then create the stories. So he does thank them in the acknowledgements page, and I think it's pretty neat. The stories move at a good pace, and there's not too much writing, which I know a lot of people don't like older comic books because they're so wordy and verbose. In this case, it is not like that at all. The text is very light, and it blends together well with the artwork to tell the complete story without overwhelming the reader. It also has an immersive aspect in that he provides further reading resources in case you want to learn more about each of these stories. You can find articles, you can find news stories, books, and things like that that delve deeper into each one of these stories. He also provides URLs for the YouTube features of each of these stories in case you want to hear him tell it in person. I have seen the videos to almost all of these stories. I think there's a couple that I haven't seen on his YouTube yet, but it's not to say that you can completely skip out on the graphic novel if you've seen the YouTube videos. It's a completely different experience, and I highly recommend it. I failed to mention before, the cover artist is Rob Pryor, who's also a very, very good artist. The cover is very, very well done. The one gripe I have with this book is that it is printed in China. He could have easily had it printed here in the US. It's not that much more expensive. I've had comic books printed here in the US with an Arizona company, and I'm in Florida, and I've shopped around. I've compared it to China. China's slightly cheaper, but not much. You can easily have this printed in the US and keep the jobs here in the States rather than sending it overseas to China. But I get it, it's a business decision, and everybody else involved with the book is US based, which is, again, it's commendable. So if you want to find out more about MrBallen, you can check out the links in the description of this video to his YouTube channel, to some of his podcasts. I recommend it. I recommend this graphic novel as well. Again, it's definitely an 8 out of 10. I love Andrea Muti's art, and the writing is very well done as well. And that's another issue back in the long box for the Headless Hammerhead Guide to Comics and More. I got something out of this video. I hope you did too. I always do. So if you did, please make sure you leave a thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, and leave a comment below if you have questions, comments. Even if you want to criticize or let me know something I could have done better with this video, or any future videos you want to see, be glad to hear it. I respond very, very quickly. And again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your support. And I will see you on the next one.